Title sequence. Title me so horny.
Something
Oh my
smells
God.
amazing. Oh shit. we're not supposed to eat your food. Oh shit.
Oh my God, there are just so many quotable moments and just oh.
All cards on the table. I'm really high right now. Oh yeah, so we're talking about community today on Geeks with Kids, the bi-weekly geeky podcast from a parenting point of view. I don't know, I haven't said that in a long time, the full actual tagline. That's weird.
Yeah.
Cool.
Haven't we rebranded by now?
Yeah, we because only two of us have kids. And
That's why I said leave it.
Three. There's three of us.
yeah,
Scouse.
yeah.
Go with the GWK, because that way it stands for both Geeks with Kids and Geeks without Kids.
That's true.
Yes,
I will do that.
yeah.
I will do
Inclusive.
Just put it like in a put it in like a bracket with the out part.
that. Yeah, that's a good idea actually.
Put the W in quotations.
Yeah.
GWK.
We're talking about community, obviously, because on Friday, all over Twitter, the cast, well, most of the cast of the original community show announced that the movie is finally happening. And
6 seasons in a movie.
Yeah, what was it?
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, that's the one. We should get Taffy on here. Geek and a kiddo. Damn. Yeah, but yeah. So today, this episode, we have Hawk, we have Marcus, and we have Brent joining me on the podcast because we love community and we're excited to talk about it. We're excited to share some bits, some episodes that we love. We're going to talk about how we got into it. You'll get there. But before that, we always talk about what we're liking right now, what we're currently enjoying. What's our yum? Hawk, what's your yum?
Oh man, I didn't select a yum for tonight.
I don't have anything either. Like,
you son of a bitch.
I know, but most of my yums have been just like the big stuff that's happening right now. And every week it's a new episode of She-Hulk. Now Andor, Lord of the Rings, and then House of the Dragon.
So good.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
can I comment on Andor for just 1 second?
Fuck
Like,
yes.
Absolutely.
I was not excited for the show at all. Like I did not care because like when they announced it, I'm like, who gives a shit? Like, why is that going to be a big deal? Now, somebody help me out. What's his name? The actor playing Caspian.
Oh, Diego Luna.
Cassian.
Diego
Luna. That's it. Yeah, he is.
I was going to say Pedro Pascal. He's in everything now.
Yeah, but he's like fantastic actor. Like he's really good. So I feel like that's what they kind of just played to, like the strengths of like, let's get this really great guy in here and just have him take over the scenes. But he hasn't done enough yet. But I mean, it's still really early in the show. But what I don't understand is it's already committed to 2 seasons, 12 episodes each. How are they going to make 12 episodes for 2 seasons on a character that we know where he ends up? We know how he dies. We know how his story ends. Like, that's going to be the interesting thing. How can they make this interesting for me for that entire length of time?
Here's what I think is going to happen. So
Okay, go.
If they're only going to do 2 instead of 5 seasons, that'll span the 5 years before. So where we're at right now is 5 years before Rogue One. So
yeah,
it'll be his whole career up until the point when he has to go and beat Jin. I think that's what we're going to see. Him becoming this ridiculous spy. I hope they do 5 seasons because that would be cool to see each year building to
I don't know if I could do 5 seasons of it. Like, I feel like 5 seasons is like, it's milking it too much,
5 seasons and a movie?
I would do a movie.
I would like a movie. I would love a separate movie, like some other kind of movie, like with the same ilk of characters. Yeah. I just love Bill Skarsgård. What's his name? Oh God, Stellan Skarsgård. There's too many Skarsgårds. It's like Stellan Skarsgård. There's like 4. I can just watch him do anything.
I love.
Did you ever see? Sorry. Did you ever see the movie the oh God, it's a shitty movie, but King Arthur. The King Arthur.
Yes,
with
I love King Arthur.
But Stellan Skarsgård in that is fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen a character who does so little but is so terrifying. Like his stature, his walk, his menacing look, and like the tone at which he speaks is like
I love
Fuck.
that everyone except for King Arthur was super interesting in that movie. Oh man,
Pretty much.
it had Mads Mikkelsen in it, right? As that crazy.
That's right. Yeah.
Sword wielding guy. Oh man, that movie was so
Well,
good.
that was still during the time that Mads Mikkelsen to me was still just like a cameo guy. He's just some guy you see popping in. He never was like a leading guy.
Until
and then once
Casino
he started,
Royale.
Oh,
like,
you haven't seen, you've
Casino
never
Royale.
watched, you haven't seen the right movies in that. I kind of fell in love with Mads Mikkelsen a long time ago. He was in this trilogy of films in that called Pusher from Nicholas Refn Wending.
what,
I like his stuff.
Yeah, this was his kind of first material in that. It was like a trilogy he did. And but Mads was like the central character in the second film. This kid named Tony in that. His dad was like a huge kind of guy in like Danish underground. And he was just
the Danish underground.
I know.
And kudos to you. Kudos to you. I would never even ever in my life attempt to pronounce that guy's name correctly.
Nicholas Refn Winding.
Nope. It's all you.
That's amazing.
There are so many missing vowels in that name. I am not trying to pronounce it.
So going back to Andor, I think the thing that I really like is seeing the general populace and how broken and how beat down they are by the Empire, and why the rebellion had to start, and why it started up in various different parts of the universe.
I loved that the inside look into like the Empire's like meetings of their head like security protocols and stuff. Like that was really cool. Like you don't get to see that sort of thing, and you get to see almost that catty infighting of them too. Like I love that we're getting to see. It's like world building on a different level. Like now we're starting to like delve into the infrastructure of their buildings and like of their stuff. Like it's just cool.
And
it's
not even that,
cool.
even the rebellion, like you're seeing how they're raising funds. Like I love the political stuff. I like that Mon Mothma is feeling trapped because she's trying to move funds around, but she's also trying to hide it from all these people that are trying to like encroach
under
her.
this oppressive fascist regime where everybody is watching everybody and reporting back on what they're doing.
Especially since Palpatine works on fear, like everyone being afraid of the people above them.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Such interesting.
It's and it's done in not just through the dialogue, the costumes. I couldn't help but look at the white uniforms and that, and look,
yes,
look at the bars on the chest and that.
For sure. Those little chiclets, man. Like you see a shit ton of different colored chiclets, and you're like, shit, no, I'm not going near that guy.
Oh man, Tony Gilroy, man, the only person who can make the politics and all of that like intriguing.
Interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is exactly
what's
exactly the kind of show like the franchise needs, and that it's like everybody was skeptical about the show because it didn't have Mandalorians, didn't have Jedi, and that or any other or legacy characters. So this guy went the opposite.
Like you said, it's a good idea. Like it's something that was 100% needed.
Yeah, it's like it's good. It's like the Star Wars, the TV show has been great, especially if you're a kid. But if you're an adult and you just want to sit down and watch a neat political thriller, this is your show.
Yeah, for sure.
It's true.
Marcus, do you have a yum?
I do. Yes. My yum is Hocus Pocus 2. So with Hocus Pocus, me and Carissa watched the first one every single Halloween. It's one of our number one Halloween movies, along with a couple of the usuals and stuff, and I sneak in a few horror movies that I like. But Hocus Pocus has always been like our family awesome like Halloween movie tradition. So we were very excited when they announced Halloween, for Hocus Pocus 2 and everything. Now I was very, hard to feel like, excited about it because I thought it's not going to be good. It's going to be pretty rough, and it's not good. It's still kind of rough. But me and Schaus talked about it a little bit on the thing. One of the things that makes it good is the three main women actually seem like they're having a fun time doing it, and that's really what makes the whole movie like completely bearable. Is Bette Midler looks like she's having fun, even though like you can tell it's a taxing toll on her. Sarah Jessica Parker is showing her age, I think, more so than the rest of the cast. But like they're still
comparatively to the original, though. I mean, like she was very, very young and fair in the original, and that was.
Oh yeah, of course. But I feel like they just like there's a point where they have a shot of her dead on, and I was like they overdid her makeup, and I understand why they did her makeup to hide some of the other features, and they tried to accentuate like some eyeshadowy kind of things, whatever. But like it almost like it was too much. Me and Carissa kept like getting thrown off every time we saw her on close up. Like, ooh, God. But it's got a whole bunch of amazing like little cameo bits. It's got Doug fucking Jones is in the movie, and he's amazing. And I would not have accepted. Oh yeah, but they actually gave him lines. They let him act. They let him perform, and it's just really nice. There's a ton of references to the original. There's lots of like little tidbits and like little fun Easter eggs and things to point out in the back. There's some really good wordplay and like funny jokes all over the place, and the women just get to sing and dance and perform a bunch of times, and it's awesome to see. If you go in knowing that it's going to be a kind of cheesy kids movie, like classic young Disney movies, and it's kind of like, all right, I'll suspend my disbelief and I'll enjoy it.
There's certain movies you give creative license. Like I think I discussed in the conversation that you guys were having too, where like if Jim Varney was alive and they were doing Ernest Scared Stupid Part 2, I would be as excited about it as you were.
Me too.
Because that was my jam growing up. And that's one of those movies that like I like it so much because I go into it knowing it's silly, it's stupid.
It's stupid.
You know what you're in for. Like
yeah. How about a bumper sandwich, booger lips?
I have a question.
Sorry, I have one question first.
Yeah, you go first.
Okay, go for it.
All right. How was Kathy Najimy?
Oh, she's amazing.
Yeah, she's always amazing.
Like she's like here's the thing. It's funny because I feel like she has become such a better actress as time has gone on that for her to dumb it down again is really hard. So like she doesn't have the same kind of funny like one-liners or like dumb moments that they used to give her, like, oh, we need it, no kids. Like they don't give her the dumb moments anymore. She's just like a goofy sister, and it's really interesting to see because I think they realized we can't make her the dumpy fun one anymore because she's slimmed down a lot, and technically she's a lot slimmer than Bette Midler is. So it wouldn't make too much sense to have that joking part of it. So like her there was a lot of prop comedy with her, but she was great. Actually, she was really good. I felt like if they had given her an opportunity, she could have done so much more. Like I wish they had given her an entire scene to just kind of like explore in a new world kind of way, because it's all modern day. So even from the last time they woke up, which was the 90s, this would be a huge different leap, like smartphones and all that kind of stuff. I would have loved to have seen an entire scene with her figuring out a smartphone. That would have been amazing.
That would have been amazing. Don't tell me if it's a spoil. Oh, I don't know if I should ask this. I want to ask if the boy and his sister are back, but I don't know if that's a spoiler for the movie.
It would be a spoiler if there was like some kind of important reveal or something like that, but they are not in the movie as such. Like they themselves are not in the movie.
Okay.
There is reference to them and their home. Like the house that I think the house is like, there's a reference to the house or something like that. But like there's not, they themselves are not in it. I was hoping for a little cameo from them. There is a sort of Binks cameo, but not really. You have to see it.
Okay.
But it's really good. Really well done. And I think they've done here is they've set themselves up for, if they want to do another movie, they can, or what I think is more likely going to happen is they're setting up for a new Hocus Pocus series featuring the young kids that have just started in this movie and kind of having them.
That's the direction Disney goes now.
Disney does that.
Yeah. 100%. And I think it's going to be fine for the young generation who's watching this going, that's pretty cool, I want to see more. But for our generation who's only watching for this nostalgia factor, it will be nothing.
I don't know. It might not be. Like, I remember I watched the Mighty Ducks season, like the TV series last year, for the nostalgia purposes of really liking the original movies and the original characters in that. And this one is like all new characters, and I really dug the show.
I like Mighty Ducks too.
Same with Cobra Kai, right?
Yeah. Like, I'm not saying it's not going to be, like, I'm not saying it's a complete write-off, it's going to be shit. Like, I'm saying if they do it, it could be fun kids and just for kids, or it could be something that the adults could enjoy.
I'm just saying that I think they're finding a really good way of striking a balance between nostalgia and new audiences lately. Like, well,
if there is a cameo that I'm not going to say who it is, but Eric, you're going to love it when you see it. But there is a cameo, and I was so happy it's a female actress. You will know her the second she's there. But I was very happy to see her in there, and I was just like, oh my god, that's amazing.
Close.
It's gonna be Kristen Chenoweth.
No, but I really hope, because there's a definite possibility that she could be integrated with the series, with a new series, or with something, or even at least the next movie if they do another movie or something.
Adele Dazeem.
That's you got it.
They have that new Enchanted movie coming out soon too, and that looks
That's
good.
right. Yep.
Anyway.
Yep, Enchanted, Disenchantment, or
yeah,
something like that.
something like that.
Disenchanted or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I'm gonna watch it after this weekend because it's Thanksgiving this weekend, and we're gonna start doing all the Halloweeny stuff. I sort of want to do a Halloween episode again because we did one last year, and I got to watch some movies I'd never seen before, like Trick or Treat, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, these are great movies."
Oh, Trick or Treat!
They just announced the sequel is in production.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Ooh, nice. Hey, Brent, quick question before we move on. Brent, do you know? Have they announced the next Chucky season?
Hey, can I get to my yum?
Oh, hey, Brent, what's your yum?
Hi, my yum is a preemptive Chucky season 2 starting on Wednesday.
Yes! Yes!
As everyone was talking, I was like trying to think of a yum, but I'm like, I don't want to necessarily do a yum that hasn't happened yet. But yes, I did look it up, and I thought it was next week, but no, it premieres in 2 days.
That counts.
But my yum is going to be for a YouTube channel that I have been obsessed with for the past 5 years. Dead Meat, hosted by James A. Janice. He does a series where like he has a whole bunch of different shows that he does on it. Like he does a podcast about horror movies with his wife, and like a couple other collaborators. But the main thing he's known for is every Friday he does a video called The Kill Count, where he goes back and looks at an old horror movie and basically does like a retelling of the story, does like a kill count throughout the whole thing for like gore hounds and those of us who like that. But also like in recent years has really gone into diving deep into like the making of the movies and like all the behind the scenes machinations and that. And leading up to Chucky season 2, he's been redoing the entire Chucky series again. Like he already did it once, but now he's redoing it and doing it extra long with like way more knowledge, way more information being brought in. Like he's actually sat down and spoken with Don Mancini and done several interviews with him just to get information for this series. And It's been so fucking cool, like seeing a lot of the stuff. Like he's showing all these scenes from when they did Bride of Chucky, how Brad Dourif and Jennifer Tilly were the only two that were allowed to record their lines together.
Ooh,
because they did
cool.
one sequence, and the way that they were bouncing off each other, they just went, never again are you two not recording together. So it became like a thing for every single movie that they were in the booth together at the same time, just bouncing and going crazy off each other.
That's
but
awesome.
he's gotten all the movies done, and now he was trying to get the first season of the show done as well. Before the launch, but he kept running into issues with Warner Brothers. They kept like blocking him being able to use the movie. I guess they have some new copyright content law that they just put into place.
Did you say Warner Brothers?
Yeah.
Yep, there it is. You just had to say Warner Brothers. They're being a-holes right now.
Apparently, if you show more than 5 minutes of footage, no matter what it's for, they block you. So because Child's Play 3 was Warner Brothers, he took them like 3 weeks to get that video released because they just kept telling him no. So eventually he finally just said, fuck it, I'll just release it and I won't make any money off of it.
That's fair. Good for him.
Not for him, but
I mean, it's good that
nice
he
for his
did
audience,
it.
but not for him. Yeah. But if anyone hasn't checked it out, like look it up. He's a huge horror fan, very personable guy, and he goes into so much detail about the movies. Like he loves horror movies and he loves talking about them. And so much so that, I don't know, did anyone see the Scream movie this year?
Yeah, I saw Scream.
No.
Okay. In that movie, there's a sequence where there is 2 podcasters talking about the stab movies. That's him. That's him.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
Wow.
He did a series on Scream a while back, and they loved it so much that they invited him to come and be part of the movie.
I hope he's
that's pretty cool.
I can't remember if they died. No, they didn't die in the movie. I hope they get to come back for the next one. That would be awesome. Anyway, my yum. Unless you're not done. Are you done?
No, that was it. That was just, I wanted to talk about, I love that channel. I wanted to promote it and show some love for it. And then also just kind of lead that into Chucky season 2 starting in 2 days. Like, holy shit.
Where's it playing in Canada? Is it on Crave or something?
It'll be showcased in Canada.
Yeah, I know you can get it on
Prime Video?
Prime, but I don't know which.
There we go.
I don't know which sub company you have to go through for it.
I'll check. I don't subscribe to any extra channels.
You
but
haven't watched it yet, have you?
I started watching the first season, but it made me want to watch the movies because I feel like I'm missing something.
Well, you have to watch.
I've seen the movies, but it's been a long time.
You don't have to watch the movies, but it really
better.
helps.
Yeah.
So, it really ties everything together.
So after Thanksgiving, I'm gonna rewatch the Chucky movies, and then I'll watch season 1.
Or just go and watch Dead Meat and literally just watch his. He does like a half-hour retelling of each movie.
That would probably be better my timing. For my yum, I wanted to do Rick and Morty, which is amazing, and you should watch. But I've been playing 2 games a lot recently. I've been playing Disney Dreamlight Valley, which is an Animal Crossing Disney game, and it's ridiculously addictive. And then
Slime Rancher 2.
No, not Slime Rancher 2. My God, that game. I still don't understand it. The other one I've been playing because they finally released version 1.0 is Grounded. And I know I told Brent to install this game a long time ago when it was still in pre.
Yeah, I might have it installed already. I actually want to check.
It probably updated to 1.0, but they revamped a lot of stuff. Things feel a lot better. This game is basically Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. You're one of the kids and you get shrunk and you're in the backyard, and so you're trying to survive in this backyard.
So cool.
It's such a fun game. It's cross-platform, I believe. And so basically I've been building bases and trying not to die because there are giant spiders which scare the shit out of me in that game.
This is just like Solar Opposites.
It is. It's except when they're in the yard and it's like bugs and shit and everything, and it's like the craziest thing. That's what
hiding out in the AVP toy.
Yeah. So you hide out in like there's like gadgets that are left behind, or like there are cans of pop that are sitting there. So you go in there and the condensation from there, you can drink the water. So you also have to try and survive, right? You need to drink and you need to eat. It's such a fun game. It's so man.
I do not have it still installed, but I will reinstall it because I would like to try it.
Yeah, try it for sure. You have me a friend. We'll see. I don't know if I can multiplayer. I'm sure I can. I clicked solo for when I started. I'm sure you can
multiplayer. I've seen a couple streamers. Doing multiplayer on it. I
have one base on top of a baseball so that the bugs at night bugs can't get me from below and stuff. Oh, man, it's such an interesting game. Taffy Devil, you should get Disney Dreamlight Valley. Although, I think I'm reaching the end of my. It's still like you're playing it in beta or not beta. It's pre-release, but they don't have all the characters in there. So I've maxed out most of my friendships with all the main characters there. 2 more characters are coming, or lands are coming this fall. I think they're doing Toy Story and they're doing The Lion King. So I'm gonna look forward to unlocking that in the world. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Disney, although I would love to talk about Disney. Maybe I'll invite a podcaster, 2 podcasters I know that do Disney podcasts. We should
Tom Hanks, Tim Allen?
No, they're friends of Hamilton friends. Marcus
you can
knows
invite
them.
They might not say yes.
Well,
you can invite them.
Yeah, I'll try. Anyway, we're talking about Community, which was an American sitcom created by Dan Harmon. It ran for 110 episodes, over 6 seasons, with the first 5 seasons airing on NBC. And it started in 2009 and ended in 2015. There were a couple. There was one weird year where Dan Harmon wasn't there because he got fired the previous year.
The gas year.
Great. Season 4 was the weird year.
The gas leak year.
It's called the gas leak year.
But before we get into the show, because we're going to talk about all our favorite things, I think I'm going to play a clip from one of my favorite episodes. I don't think any of us are talking about it, so I'm gonna.
How are you not playing the theme song on your guitar right now?
Oh, I should have. Damn it, that was a good idea. Damn. Okay, next time. But here's a scene that I want to show. Everyone from one of my favorite episodes. I don't think anyone has this as their favorite. Oh shit!
It's definitely.
No, this was potentially on my list.
I figured somebody was going to pick this.
I was going to pick it, but I thought someone was going to pick it.
Yeah. This one is like top 3 episode for me.
Okay. Starting on my left with 1, your number comes up, you go.
Just so you know, Jeff, you were not creating.
Why is everyone so fast?
Of course I am, Abed.
Because we don't have the time.
One.
Because we don't want to go 3 hours
Damn
like
it.
last
I'm
one.
gonna go as fast as I can so I don't miss anything.
Is there a way to
That's
do
Maybe
okay.
there's a
this?
gas leak here.
You know who I used to call Miss Anything? Eartha Kitt.
Don't accept it.
I'm checking on my pies.
No.
Nope.
Bathroom?
Yeah, over here.
Jeff, tell us about your father.
I'm gonna get a drink.
Oh my god, are you okay?
Barely felt it.
Let me look at it in the bathroom.
What the hell?
Call 911! Armin! Stop the bleeding!
I am dying.
Water!
Oh god.
How did none of us pick
Like,
that?
I assumed one of you were gonna pick it, so I didn't pick it.
That's why I didn't want to pick it because I wanted to go for one that I was like, I think everyone will know, but maybe not everyone will pick. Right.
So
I literally have like 12 different choices here, so I'm ready for like anybody. I just don't worry. I got plenty. That was one of them.
It's crazy because I watched because the movie was announced on Friday. Joel McHale announced it on Twitter, and then everyone else ended up tweeting and retweeting it, and accidentally tweeting Gillian Anderson, who now wants to be in the movie, which I think is amazing. It's crazy. I watched the first 2 seasons over the weekend just because everything was so easy to get into. Like it's such an easy show to pick up and just put on and watch. It spans so many genres, and it goes through hundreds of, if not thousands, of pop culture tropes.
Oh my god!
That's one of the things I always did. Like if I was ever a filmmaker, one thing I wanted to do that I've never seen anyone do is create a film series where you have a set group of characters, but every single movie is a different genre. So you put those characters through an action movie, and then you put those characters through comedy, and then you put them through a horror. And I was like, I always said, like, no one's ever done that. And then here comes fucking Dan Harmon with Community, create a group of characters and puts them through every feasible situation, every feasible genre. And I'm like, fucking, I was on the right idea. Like, I was on the right path.
Yeah. I know a lot of people ended up coming to the show in different ways, in different forms. When I saw it the first time, I randomly put City TV on in the first season, and I was like, what the hell is this show? And it just immediately hooked me. Do you guys remember how you got into Community? I'm gonna start with Hawk.
Definitely. I got started on it like on network. I was watching it kind of weekly. It's the slate of new fall shows was out. It was 2009, streaming was still like a few years away. So mostly I was pirating stuff and this and that, but was the one show I would actually sit down every week and watch. And year one was great, but year two I noticed like this is something else.
Yeah.
Really.
Agreed.
And I think a lot of that had to do with the trampoline episode.
We're gonna
another one that I almost picked.
You were gonna pick that too, Hawk, weren't you? That was
I wasn't. I had already kind of decided which ones I was gonna do. We intermediate documentary filmmaking. Spoilers.
We'll talk about that in a bit. Don't worry.
Yeah. But
I think it doesn't matter what episode each of us pick. I think we're gonna go over like multiple stuff anyway.
It's fair. That's fair.
I just sent you that pick over the weekend because I was like, that's still one of the funniest sight gags going. It's gonna be a maze.
Yeah. Brent, how did you get into this show?
I was a big fan of The Soup and Joel McHale.
Oh yeah.
I used to watch that show religiously every week. I would always like try to find it online after that because I didn't have Eat Network, and I would watch it every week. And then he came on and started talking about how he was going to be starring in a new sitcom. So I was in right from the get-go just for Joel McHale. And when I watched the first episode, like the first thing I thought in my head was, "This is my Arrested Development," because that was a show that like I did not watch when it first aired, and I caught all of the people like going like, "Oh my god, you gotta watch it, you gotta watch it." this was the show where I was like, this is my opportunity. Now I have a show that I can go around to everyone and go, you got to watch this. You got to watch this. It's so fucking brilliant. Like, but I was with it right from the get-go.
Yeah. Amazing. Marcus?
Joel McHale is a oddly appealing guy. It's weird to say, but he is the American version of Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, and he's very, like, shockingly talented in multi-different genres, too. Like, I don't know if anyone's seen, oh, fuck, what was the name of that
Spy
horror
Kids?
movie that came out?
Oh, no.
No,
Which
there
one?
there was a horror movie that came out recently. It was about, like, it starred Kevin James as the villain.
What?
Yeah, I gotta look it up. Hang on.
way.
But anyway, it was about like this 13-year-old girl and her family who are like staying at this cabin, and Kevin James plays like the leader of a group of like prisoners that escape prison or something like that, and they take the family hostage, and Joel McHale plays the it sounds stupid. It's really fucking good.
I imagine it would be.
Becky, that's what it's called.
I've never heard of this movie.
Yeah, it just came out like, last year.
Becky?
It was.
A friend of mine worked on
Becky.
that. She worked on that film. Actually, I think she was up for an award for that. We worked in the special effects department, doing like the special effects makeup.
It
and
is
shit.
shockingly good movie. Shockingly
Wow.
good. Kevin James
Oh, yeah.
as like a Nazi fucking villain he's actually quite fucking terrifying in that movie. Like, this is a guy who like he's also very multi-talented, but Joel McHale playing like the straight-laced father type in a movie and like really pulling it off too, and having a lot of emotional moments in that movie he was really good in it.
Like I said, have you ever seen him around stand-up comedians? You know, usually stand-up comedians are the people who dominate a room in that, but he is very quick-witted, and he really stands toe-to-toe with them.
Hawk.
You know?
Do
Yo,
you know who plays Becky in this film?
no.
Lulu Wilson. Do you know who that is? You should recognize the name because that's Riker's daughter from Picard.
And they just announced a sequel to the movie as well. There's going to be a second one coming out. I think
That's
it's in
crazy.
pre-production right now.
I want to watch it purely for her. Like, she was amazing on Picard.
Oh, she's
one of the
incredible in the
only
movie.
things that was good in the first season.
There was a lot of good performances in the movie, but it all hinges on her performance, and she is really, really good. Like,
Good.
for a 12 or 13-year-old girl to carry a movie like that, it was pretty phenomenal.
Very nice, very nice. Marcus, how did you get into Community?
So, I mean, the time when Community came out, I don't think I watched it right away. I think I let it simmer for a while. Like, I had just finished school. Like, I was kind of in the middle of, like, starting a new career. So, like, I remember I was all over the place. But what actually got me hooked was Donald Glover. And it was because I used to watch Derek Comedy like online, like the old Derek Comedy videos, like the Mad Hatter one where, like, he keeps making hats with like mercury and goes fucking crazy and shit. Like, it's such a good, like, him and like a bunch of the guys who created that movie that came out, the Team Spy Force, or like whatever it was, like the God, it's a movie from the same guys that did Derek Comedy and everything, and all those writers, like all of those guys ended up being writers on like the Community, and they actually like guest starred in a few episodes and stuff like that. It's just like awesome that they all kind of still connect into each other's lives and everything. But when I happened to watch an episode of Community, or when it was on TV or something, I saw Donald Glover and I was like, holy shit, it's that guy from Derek Comedy. He's on a show. Awesome. And I just watched it because of him, but I stayed because of everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't even remember what episode it was, but it would have been like probably mid first season. And I kind of got like, oh my God, I need to watch this. So I didn't get to watch the first bit of season 1 until it came back out on DVD. And then once it started coming out on DVD, I would buy the seasons as they came out. And then I just made sure that I watched them all and everything, just to keep caught up with every single episode and everything. And oh my God, like, I just loved everything that was coming out of that show.
I remember working at Future Shop, and one of the pre-order bonuses for getting the DVDs, or like first day, whatever, whenever you buy a set of DVDs, was the Troy and Abed in the Morning cup mug. And now I use it all the time. It's one of my favorite things. In the morning, night
And I swear to God, I can't go to a funeral anymore without going Troy and
Abed are in mourning. I was about to mention that for my episode.
It's so funny. Like the show has no equal. Like there's nothing that I could think of that has been this influential on TV.
It's live action Rick and Morty.
Yeah, I agree.
Like you can tell that it's like what Dan Harmon's style is. Like he's just the king of non sequitur entertainment. Like nothing has to deal with anything. It's just throw shit out there that's gonna make you think.
They still grow as characters through each season. Like
one of the shows he learned this from was he was one of the co-creators of the Sarah Silverman program. I don't know if you guys have watched that back in the 2000s. So good.
I remember it, but I don't think I really watched it.
Some of the most offbeat humor I've ever seen. There was one episode that dealt with, you know how Brian Posen and the other guy on the show, they're boyfriends, right? Even though they just look like two big stoners who are just roommates, right? The one guy finds out that his boyfriend, the only song he has on his iPod, on his iTunes account, anywhere, is Two Princes by the Spin Doctors.
One, two,
the only song. It's the only song he listens to, and he gets obsessed with this. He's like, "Why does he only listen to that one song? It's a shitty song."
I love that song.
I like it too. I like what else makes this show different. Like there's nothing that's come on since that show that really, even Rick and Morty isn't the same as Community. There was something special about this show.
Mm-hmm.
It was a show that took chances. Like it was a show where he was allowed to throw shit at the wall and see what happened, and like he was not afraid to fail. He wasn't afraid to go for things and fail. Like,
and it was also one of those things where you could put these characters that you start to develop feelings for, you start to love and everything, but you can put them in the most ridiculous situations, and they commit to it so intensely, and the show around it, everything around them commits to it too. Mm-hmm. So like it's okay to get lost. Like you can get lost in the Law and Order episode, you can get lost in like all these, like there's just moments where you're just like, okay, I'm watching this show today, and you just let yourself have it.
And that's the brilliance of it, because like it doesn't come at it from an amateurish point of view where it's just like some guy just throwing out shit against the wall. It's somebody who professionally dissects television and that,
Yes.
Abed is basically kind of an extension of Dan Harmon's personality, I suspect. And this is why it's so great, is because he knows these television episodes and that. So it's like he can pull the whole tropes apart and restitch them back together.
Yeah.
In the most ridiculous ways.
And they had the most like incredible cast. Like none of that would have worked if you didn't believe the cast. Like the world was introduced. I think in general, like a lot of people knew Joel McHale from, Talk Soup or Danny Glover from Donald Glover from Danny Glover. Oops, Donald Glover from all the Derek comedy and stuff. But like really, most of the people met Joel McHale, Jillian Jacobs, Danny Pudi, Alison Brie, Ken Jeong, Yvette Nicole Brown, Jim Rash, Donald Glover from this show.
I'd argue that going into the show, Chevy Chase is the only name that anybody, like the majority of the people were really like, okay, I know this.
Yeah, that's and I think a lot of people came in, they're like, oh, Chevy Chase was funny in the 80s. I wonder what he's doing now. And then he's not even the best part of the show. He's good, but he's not the best.
He's probably the worst part of the show.
Yeah. Plus, you didn't even just meet those main characters. We also got like a billion secondary characters. We had John Oliver.
Got Ken Jeong, who has become fucking huge.
Yeah.
And it's just like this was a show that just let him go fucking nuts.
Yeah. And then
John Oliver before Last Week Tonight.
Yep.
Like,
oh, John Oliver.
Oh, and then later on we got Paget Brewster on there. We got Keith David and Jonathan Banks.
Jonathan Banks.
Oh man, like it's incredible, this cast.
Don't forget Starburns.
Who's actually one of the writers as well on this show. Oh yeah. So speaking of Jonathan Banks, Keith David, Paget Brewster, what did we think when Donald Glover and Chevy Chase ended up leaving the show after a couple seasons because of Donald Glover wanted to focus more on his music, and rightfully so. He's amazing as a musician. And then Chevy Chase had issues.
He got fired. Let's just put it out there. He got fired for some bad behavior.
I'm not gonna lie, the show lost me at that point. I couldn't connect to the new characters they were coming in the way that I did to the original 7. Like that was such a perfect formula, those 7 characters, because every single one of them had something about each other that both appealed to them and antagonized them. So it was just such a perfect combination. And even just losing Chevy, even though like all the behind the scenes stuff and how he was like horrible for production and like really brought down spirits and that, even just losing that character of Pierce to me, just like that ruined that
some
for
sort
me.
of dynamic in there.
Yeah.
And then like with all of them leaving one after another after that, I was just like, it's just not the same show to me anymore.
It was weird when Donald Glover left for me, just because his chemistry with Abed was probably my favorite part of the show. I love their...
Because that was the thing, is like when he left, it's like, where does Abed go now? Like, there's so many little like linchpins that like when they left, it's just everything kind of started falling apart for me.
Yeah.
I really got to say, Jonathan Banks coming in after Chevy Chase left, and that helped a lot with season 5, because he added something to it. And that he was like we knew him. Was him. He was him coming. That was him coming straight after the final season of Breaking Bad, and exploring like kind of playing that same character in that, but like in a comedic, and it somehow worked.
Well, it's having that character in a ridiculous circumstance, in a ridiculous situation, and it gave it like suddenly a new spin. You're like, oh shit, what's gonna happen with this hard knuckled kind of guy? Like, it's just so funny.
The best moment was that one with Abed, when Abed knocked coffee all over those drawings he was doing.
Oh yeah.
The duck. What's
that? The duck.
Yeah. Abed was in like a kick puncher, homemade costume. This was after Donald Glover left. He was supposed to go to a kick puncher screening, Buzz Hickey, the Jonathan Banks character, handcuffed him to a file cabinet and said, "You don't get to do what you want anymore."
Yep. Oh my God.
One of the best scenes.
One of the things I loved with him with John Banks is the part where I think Troy and Abed are both still there, but they're hiding in the office as like a tree or a couch.
Oh, and
he comes in, and he comes in and he starts having that conversation with like the doctor or whatever, and like
I remember too. It was his pharmacy, and he was arguing about the Lipitor. He said the generic stuff doesn't work with me.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And just watching them like awkwardly, like, oh, this will be funny, and then as it keeps going, they're like, oh my God. I loved that moment so much.
Like season 5 had its moments. Like there were parts.
It has moments. It has moments. But I agree with Brent in the way that like I hate the fact that Chevy Chase caused so much shit on the show.
Yeah.
Like I hate that part of it. But the character of Pierce, aside from Chevy Chase himself, the character was so good, and we need that character. Like that character was so perfectly intertwined, and because of his legacy of being there from the beginning, it's understandable why this character hasn't been kicked out, why they still have somewhat like feelings, and like they still want to hold on to Pierce being around, like even though he's an asshole, but you need that asshole. Like
he was a sympathetic villain, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Which was weird because of how often they pushed him over any kind of line of being sympathetic. Like the D&D episode with Neil. I'm watching this going, how are we supposed to like Pierce after this? They just keep, every time you think here's the line, they're not going to go past it, they fucking kick the line another 100 yards. Like
that episode.
Holy shit.
Pierce, for your turn, I
humped
the Duquesne sword repeatedly.
I've never seen a character like so just like that I so universally hate and love at the same time. Like,
and the way he goes out was actually quite good on the show, which we'll talk about when we get to Hawk. So there was a season, the 4th season, the gas season that Brent had mentioned earlier, that was not run by Dan Harmon. He had gotten fired from season 3 because of, issues with Chevy Chase and the network and a lot of weird stuff. And they're like, the network was like, you know what? We can make this show work still. Then they did the 4th season and everyone was like, that was fucking weird. What do you guys think of that? Like,
4th season's got a couple of episodes that are still okay, but it's not, you can tell it's because there's already been the establishment of the characters and their dynamics and stuff like that make the episodes tolerable. but you can't help but feel like there's a heart missing from all of season 4. There's a whole little bit of like the intelligence factor is not there. You know,
it's not as cutting
throughout-
into the
yeah, it's like
cultural norm.
here's a pop culture reference. Okay, why is that funny now? Why is it relevant now? It's like, oh, we don't know. We threw it in there because that's what you guys like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, what we like is the very witty commentary on that pop culture reference at this time because it's perfect right now because blah blah blah. Like that's what Dan Harmon brought to the show.
You've got all the ingredients to make the cake in front of you, but only Dan Harmon had the recipe and the instructions.
Yes.
Yes.
That was the year that Chang lost his memory and he
Changnesia.
Yeah, which was fun in itself, funny, but it was a weird. It felt a little like the Wish brand version of Community.
Yeah.
Oh man. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we go into our favorite episodes? Like,
I just wondered because Dave's not here. I don't know whether or not you had the clip of the pool game.
The pool game. Oh, I can look it up, but you guys can keep talking.
Oh, that's a physical education episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just because I know Dave pointed out that was like his favorite moment of the show, and I was like, Dave's not here, man. So it'd be nice to throw that in there for him.
Yeah, there are a bunch of there's a couple things.
Yeah, it's right at the top there.
I don't think that's the one. That's one he doesn't. Wait, is it one he plays? No, this one he doesn't want to play.
I choose shorts.
Hold on.
Oh, there we go. Jeff plays pool naked.
Yeah.
Where? Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm gonna switch this over. The video.
Okay.
Oh, I got unmuted. Keep unmuting it and muting it just so that I don't accidentally play it. Anyway, here we go. This is for Dave.
Yeah, this is Dave's.
This one's for you, Dave.
This is Dave's choice for favorite episode.
Yeah, what do you think of that?
See, you haven't learned anything except how to look cool playing pool in shorts.
You're wrong, man. I'm just having a good time because I love playing pool.
Liar! You think you look cool.
Yeah? Well, how cool is this? Stop projecting your obsession with clothes onto me as an excuse for when I beat you in a game of real pool.
Oh, you want to play real pool, huh? I'll play real pool. Now, who doesn't care how they look?
Me! Shouldn't you be stopping this? Gathering evidence.
Oh my god.
I mean, there's a very big difference between Joel McHale taking his shirt off.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get flagged for the music?
Oh, who cares?
Yeah, cool.
I'm gonna hydrate because of Hardcroft. Oh yeah, that close-up shot.
You know what? Yeah.
I just love his underwear choice.
I know,
So
tidy
perfect.
whiteys. Oh,
But like the tidy whities, you
tidy
can tell
off-whiteys.
have been. They're like they've been
They've
worn
been
far
worn.
too often.
yeah, you can see just a little yellowing at the corner.
Wardrobe nailed it that time.
Yeah.
Oh.
I love Annie's face right now.
Yeah. Oh.
And this was first season. Like, that's incredible. Dean.
Look at me. Look at me. You beat me. now on, you play pool dressed however you choose.
I choose shorts. I choose shorts! Shorts!
Son of a bitch. You magnificent,
You magnificent son of a bitch! I love it so much.
Oh my god, it's such a it's such
let
a,
me get in there.
oh my god, it's such a good show. Like it.
There are so many moments like this that we could go on for hours and hours and hours just about like the. I was looking through clips and the closing segments that come from every episode or whatever. I was watching the one with Troy and Abed where they're pretending to be Bert and Ernie. Here, have some cookies. Shit, I gotta get to my cousin's funeral. I knew there was some reason I couldn't do this today. And he's like leaving and he's like, Abed's response, oh, poor Dimitri. Dimitri!
The amount of times they make fun of Donald Glover being a Jehovah's Witness on this show.
Jehovah's Witness,
just made me smile so much.
Oh,
and it led to that rap that he did in the Glee episode, which I'm going to talk about later.
How about when we meet his grandmother?
La biblioteca.
Yeah.
Oh, his grandmother with the switch? That one?
Oh my god, Brett, you need to respect your elders. Okay.
I don't understand you, Britta.
She's had enough. She's had enough.
Donald Glover crying is my favorite part of the show. Without a doubt. Anytime he cries.
And we have a clip of that.
Yeah, actually, this is my favorite clip of the show. It's not from the episode I'm doing, but I'm gonna play it anyway because it's amazing.
Yes.
Excuse me. I'm looking for Troy Barnes. You have a cell phone,
I almost put this clip in too.
Hey, Troy. Hi. I'm LeVar Burton.
It's
LeVar Burton to come here for Troy? Is there anyone he can't produce?
Now I'm really getting mad. Why am I the only one he decided to torture?
I told Pierce 1,000 times I never wanted to meet LeVar in person. I just wanted a picture. You can't disappoint a picture. I hate you, Pierce. I hate you so much.
So, do you go to school nearby? Well, are you more familiar with me from Star Trek or Reading Rainbow? Reading Rainbow is the show I hosted and produced for 25 years on PBS. Proceed.
I can go twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book. Reading Rainbow. Reading Rainbow. Oh, set phasers to love me.
Troy, I am telling you, the sound is beautiful.
I'm gonna stop it there. I'm just gonna keep watching that episode.
More fish for Kunta.
That was that was one of my picks for favorite episodes of Community.
Yeah, it's on my list too. It's so good.
I like honestly the first one I would have picked was the Chaos Theory one. I can't even remember the name of it right now.
Remedial Chaos Theory.
Yeah.
Remedial Chaos Theory.
And I think
it's one of mine too.
I think it's really the first time the world on a whole said that this was the darkest timeline, because that was the phrase from that whole season, from that point to the end, and then everyone started using it once we hit 2016 onwards.
Huge cultural meme.
Oh man. I'm gonna go with Hawk. What's your episode that you want to talk about first?
So I guess I will talk about this one first. Intermediate documentary filmmaking. This was from season 2. This was season 2. Oh, episode. I didn't write the episode number down.
Oh yeah, I was gonna look that up for mine.
Yeah. This one was written by let me see. Sorry, this one was written by Megan Gans and directed by Joe Russo. It was first. I think it was one of the first times they broke their traditional camera structure for the show, and just went with a completely found footage documentary style filmmaking. Little synopsis of it: after Pierce's overdose, he requests the study group gather by his bedside so he can bequeath them items he uses to basically manipulate them emotionally.
That's where this LeVar Burton thing came from.
Yes. Yeah. Every single one of them gets a gift from him, and that ends up having these huge emotional consequences for each of them. They're not the gifts that they want. They're not even really the gifts that they need.
Nope.
It culminates in the gift that he bestows upon Jeff in finding his long lost father, apparently for him, and leads to basically Jeff beating the shit out of Pierce in the parking lot, which is something you kind of always wanted to see it in that because of how Pierce is set up as a villain. A sympathetic villain, but a villain nonetheless, and it is one of the richest episodes, and one of my personal favorites.
I gotta admit that was a really good episode. Like, whenever they changed the style of the show, it really resonates with me. They did that. They did the Pillow Fort documentary as well, which spanned 2 episodes, and it was right.
That one was done Ken Burns style, which was so funny.
And it was perfect. Like, it felt like a wartime documentary. And then in the first season, they got Justin Lin, who people know from his horror films or from the Fast and Furious films, and he did the first paintball episode, and it was 100% an homage to old Asian action films, and he did
the part where Ken Jeong comes busting in with the golden gun is just the greatest thing.
That's straight out of every old Chow Yun Fat movie.
That is a direct reference to The Killer. But
he had the exact same sunglasses. Same
the suit.
Movie. Oh my god!
I love what's the class he's taking, and he brings out. He's like remedial thing, whatever. Like, I fucking love it so much. I don't know. It's so good.
Yeah. Other than that,
wasn't it? I think it had something to do with Keytar.
Yes, that was in the second season. Oh God, I can't remember.
He's no longer the Spanish teacher.
And they're in anthropology now. Yep. Something like that. Anyway, I love the episode you picked, Hawk. Like, I shouldn't have played that Troy LeVar Burton clip, because we should have just done it afterwards. Because
that's cool.
It's
totally cool. It's actually a good introduction to it. It's a classic. For that guest appearance, getting LeVar Burton and him interacting with Troy was just amazing. I can't even say interacting in that, because imagine how hard that was for Donald Glover in that. It's like, okay, here's a childhood idol. You don't interact with him at all.
You stare at him in the most perfect way ever. I can only imagine the filming of that. It must have been hilarious. Oh, LeVar Burton has that Troy Nobbit cup that I have. Interesting. Anyone else want to talk about intermediate documentary filmmaking? I love that episode.
It's a fucking amazing episode. I love the style of it is it really did set itself apart immediately. Like, you instantly got the fact that okay, this show is just gonna take it. We're gonna take this ball, we're gonna roll with it and go crazy. I just love the fact that throughout the entire thing, there's, even as the audience, there's a shred of moment where you're like, did he get his dad? Did he get Jeff's dad? Until you realize he didn't, and there's that moment of him scrambling. Holy shit. I love that so much. And then the phone call. Jeffrey, this is your father. That whole thing. I would love to come see you, but it's just too hard. No, don't come to me. I'll see you later. Bye, son. Driving back.
The terrible getaway ends up crashing into a car.
Oh my god!
I love it all the other manipulations were so good too, especially Shirley in that, giving her a CD and that. It's like, this is what everybody's been saying about you behind your back.
Was the thing I loved about this episode. Was this is the episode that just took Pierce Hawthorne from being curmudgeon, racist, grumpy old grandpa to just pure malevolent villain.
This was a good build towards the D&D episode. That was after this, right?
That was after. I think that was season 3, wasn't it? Oh no,
that was season 2, I think.
Yeah, it's season 2. It was. It's before that.
Oh, okay.
It was 2 episodes earlier.
Interesting. Anyway, Yeah, if we're done with Hawk, let's go with Brent. What's your episode you want to talk about?
I'm starting to see a trend here on good episodes created by the same people, because my episode is also written by Megan Gans and directed by Joe Russo, which I did not know until I started my rewatch recently, just how much Joe and Anthony Russo were involved in the series.
Yeah.
I never knew that before.
A whole bunch of the characters from actors from Community all pop into their movies because of that.
Yeah.
I think I knew that. Like, I think I had made the connection before, but completely forgot about it. But my episode is also season 2, episode 8, Cooperative Calligraphy. That's
a good one. Yes.
This is the episode. There is a cute little puppy parade going. What did I?
Oh, the puppy parade.
There's an adorable puppy parade going on at school, but alas, a pen is missing. And someone potentially
the bottle episode.
And now the entire group is turning all of their insecurities among each other, all against each other. Like, I love this because it was the first episode where you've seen that throughout the series, they've all been finding little things about each other that drive them crazy. Like, I love you for these reasons, but these are the things that annoy me. And then this episode is like the time when every character gets to just unleash about everything they fucking hate about each other. And it is an all over just a simple missing pen. And I've been in situations where you want to say things, you want to tell people what you feel, but you just can't. And then that one little tiny straw that broke the camel's back just erupts into the most wonderful little bottle episode ever.
Oh my God. This episode, and Pierce is in a wheelchair and has like
he's in a wheelchair
with double leg casts,
and just the ridiculousness of them doing this.
And I just love that moment that like when they're all just sitting there, they're just like, "Did we check everywhere?" And they all just kind of like look over at Pierce.
Speaking of, I think that's your clip, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Well, let's pop it on.
My bad. Yeah, please.
Unmute that. All right.
Nice try, Stephen Fry.
Stephen Fry.
We all have a dream. Nobody leaves till we find it.
Yeah, here we go. We are gonna find this pen. We are gonna find that pen. And if we can't find it, our children will find it. Is it over here? The pen? This incredible, magical pen that nobody knows how it can disappear. Oh, maybe it's right in here.
Guys, this is school property.
We didn't know about it.
Forget it. It's a pen.
It's a pen now? Really? It's not a principal anymore? Now it's a pen? Why the change of heart?
You're not seriously accusing me. We searched my bag, which is exactly the last place you'd put it if you found it halfway through all this. In fact, assuming that one of us does have the pen, who among us has the most incentive to make sure it never sees the light of day? You want to go there? Yeah, I'll go there. Okay. I was born there. Really? There's a placard there commemorating me.
What's going on and how can I help?
Relax.
No, you relax, Jeff. Or are you scared that if you do, my pen will fall out?
You precocious little bitch.
Okay, guys, hey, stop. Be completely
Chase.
logical. We need to flip the table, divide the group by gender, and then search each other in our underwear.
What? Now what?
Everybody shake. Enough to dislodge.
Danny Pudi.
Okay, anything hit the floor?
No.
What are those underwear made out of? They look luxurious.
Oh, they're an organic soy cotton blend.
This Gwynnifer must be real special. Don't you usually wear the stripy turquoise Beetlejuice numbers?
What does she mean usually?
Oh, this is the second one.
I was about to point that out. I'm like, this is the second Beetlejuice episode set up.
There is absolutely no place left. No.
Who remembers how he got down in the wheelchair?
It was the trampoline, wasn't it?
Yes.
Amazing.
That episode is the one that sets up, I think, one of the funniest storylines in the second season, which is it Chang's baby?
Oh
yeah.
God,
Oh yeah, my
The one where
God.
she realizes when Troy realizes, like, wait a minute, you got pregnant on Halloween. Oh no!
This was also the episode where Annie's boobs. We find out Annie's boobs is still around.
Annie's boobs,
which is a monkey for those who haven't seen this show.
They had so many running like thread lines throughout the series, and that it's a show you could pretty much throw any episode on and probably find something funny about it. But it's even more rewarding if you like know the whole basic.
That Beetlejuice play out is one of the most genius things I've ever seen in a television
show. Danny Pudi shake kills me whenever I see him do it. He's still one of my favorite actors. He's on Mythic Quest right now, and he's amazing on it. Any other things about this episode? I think
it's one of those episodes. Like if there was anything consistent in the story writing, it was like eventually there would be something that would tear the group apart. They even did that whole montage thing in that where basically like the group gets torn apart by the experience that they had together, and Jeff monologues them back into civility by the end and friendship. This was really the first episode that kind of really highlighted that aspect of it.
Yeah.
Like literally by the end of the episode, they're bearing themselves to each other.
I love the fact that.
Go ahead.
I just love. I love that this is one of those episodes that gets called back later on. Like when they're like, "Remember the time when we like this is one of those episodes that constantly gets like referred back to when we lost the pen. Hey guys, remember that time when we lost the pen? It was in the vent the whole time. Like all that kind of shit. Like I love how that kind of stuff happens. Like so nice to see it all get called back.
Later on, even that episode gets referenced because like when the rest of the community college gives the group the cold shoulder because like all their adventures end up impacting all their selfishness impacts the rest of the community. That episode gets called back because they destroyed that study room.
It's Garrett, right? Isn't it Garrett? Yep. Like, guys, I need to study in there, and just like one of them lost a pen.
We're doing a whole episode, and he shuts the door.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I also just love the episode too, like partway through, as one of my favorite Dean Pelton moments with his voiceover coming over the radio. Well, everyone, it's starting to get quite cold outside, so we're going to need everybody to go ahead and pick up a puppy and cuddle it to keep it warm. I don't know why I'm telling you this, because I don't see how there could possibly be anyone not here right now.
Amazing. I think like season 2 is one of the strongest. So many amazing episodes. Marcus, what did you pick?
Okay. This is very hard. Like I have so many on this list that I really want to talk about because I just fucking love them all. I'll bring them up. After we do this, I'm sure we'll have to do like our honorable mentions and like kind of thing. I will say, okay, my first, these are my 2 top ones that I wanted to choose. The first one that did not make it is, I will bring it back later, is the digital estate planning, which was the episode with Giancarlo Esposito, and like where they're going into the video game for his inheritance and stuff like that.
Oh my god,
freaking love that episode.
Abed makes the family.
And Gilbert,
oh my god.
Abed makes the family with all the little Abeds like
Abed hacks the game. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's so funny because the way he does it too. He's just like, wait a minute, she's got has this menu of this, and this goes to another subroutine to this menu. I think I'm in love. Like it's just so good of Abed, and then like Pierce giving up and like trying to bury himself in the game and kill himself, like all these like stupid little things. Gilbert like unlocking God mode and all this kind of shit. Like it's just such a great concept, and it's just such an amazing. I love the ending. I love the way it all like kind of come together, and it's just brilliant. So I love that episode. But my episode that I am choosing is Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
Because it's just. There are a handful of episodes that I will constantly go back and just watch once in a while. This is one of them, and I love it so much, mainly because also we get Fat Neil for the first time. And like he's just, it was like that whole intro where it's like Lord of the Rings, like the moniker of Fat Neil, like that whole thing, whatever. And like you even hear that moment of like, oh, I think it's down by Fat Neil, and you just see like that whole thing. completely unaware that it is Joel McHale himself's character, Jeff Winger, who's the one that has given the moniker. And he's like, well, I didn't mean it on purpose. He was by other Neil. He's like, then call him Skinny Neil. Well, he's not that skinny. He's black. Like, I don't see the world through that lens. Like, there's just so many good moments in this episode.
I love,
of course,
I love when Annie's like, and I'm Hector the Well-Endowed?
Hector the Well-Endowed? I meant that for Troy. And like the look they all give them, like, what? So that is hilarious. Like, yeah, everybody's characters getting mixed up and everything is just brilliant. I also just love, of course, like the main thing about this episode is Pierce Hawthorne's like awful, horrible character trait. Like, he becomes such an asshole in this one. Like, this is the one where it's like you can almost forgive him in every other episode. This is the episode where just before the ending you're like, I want to stab him in the face. He's such an asshole, because you're just like, that poor kid, just he steals his sword, then he like rapes his like the Duquesne family sword, like,
and not even just the in-game stuff, like set up how the whole episode happens with them doing this Dungeons and Dragons game because they're afraid this kid's going to kill himself.
Yes,
like they're worried that he's going to actually commit suicide in real life. And then you take that and you look at how horrible Pierce is towards him. It's like, you monster. Like,
yeah.
He does not it's weird. He does not recognize other people's like kind of feelings or emotions and that. This is all about him being excluded from games and that.
Yeah.
So, and he would rather punish a poor kid who's possibly on the verge of suicide.
Yeah.
But the fact that it ends up turning into an amazing session of D&D for Neil, and the fact that it resolves with Neil being like, no, I'm fine, and I'm gonna be fine. I pity Pierce. Like, that whole pity Pierce at the end is amazing. And I just love that it's also a tactic that they use in the game and stuff like that. And I use, unfreeze, and just like, oh, you use your turn, and now you've lost this, and now this. It's like, I throw the sword at the amulet, like all that shit is just such a good D&D moment. So I'm just like, oh, that's awesome. But also, I just love the visual concepts of like stuff that would have happened. The only thing I wish they could have done in this episode is given us like hints of like, I wouldn't want like drawings or like fictional versions of it, but like if we could have gotten like really quick snippets for even a split second of these people as their characters. Like, yes. I would have loved to have seen Chevy Chase as Pierce Hawthorne's character or whatever in the game for a split second in like a cape with no clothes on and like a sword. Would have been the funniest fucking thing, just for a quick clip of it or something, you know what I mean? Like, but the fact that like where he makes his throne and then he starts reading all of the Garrett's D&D books and like, Abed, do you know about the lake of the thing? And like, you know, that whole shit is just so good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then of course the Abed as an elf or like as an orc or whatever, like, and we have to talk to him like this, and then it's like, what is it? Hector the Well-Endowed, played by Annie, sleeps with like the character, and they go into the whole thing, and they're like, and fucking Troy is just like, and the best is like, I spoon for the proper amount, and then I move on. And then Troy, how long is that exactly?
Oh my god, it's probably the best Community episode, I think, out of all of them. I think it's the number one. I've seen it on number one on so many lists. Like, it's such a good take on the, like, it takes such a heavy subject matter, and it doesn't make it unimportant, but it's also fairly light as an episode on a whole. Which makes it easily digestible by the whole community, right? By most people. And the genre bending and just the quick wit in the whole episode. My God. I know that this episode also had a lot of controversy because it was taken off of most streaming services for a while. I don't know if it's still there. I watch it on a different service. But you know, hopefully
this wasn't because of the suicide angle, was it?
No, it was because of
I remember why now. Oh my god.
It's because someone dressed up as a dark elf in the episode, and people were like, that's not cool, but I'm like, but he's a dark elf. That's what dark elves look like.
That is what dark elves look like, yeah.
Which was ridiculous, and I hope they ended up putting this back on. I know ABC was really worried about their image at the time. So NBC, whatever. I can't remember.
I'll skim through the episode real quick here and see whether or not that's on Netflix.
Is anyone else? That was episode. What was 2?
It might be because I totally missed this episode on my watch around. I think it's because they took it off there.
I know it was on Prime for a while, but anyway.
That's why it's good to have the DVDs. I have
exactly.
those DVDs for a reason.
Exactly. If we're all done with D&D, which was a phenomenal episode, I was gonna pick Remedial Chaos Theory because I love that episode, and everyone. We'll talk about it later.
It's removed from Netflix.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Wow. I was wondering why I missed the episode when I was doing the watch.
Yep,
so crazy. So crazy. I'm going to pick an episode purely because I love when Dan Harmon rips on something that everyone loves at the time, but he absolutely fucking hates. The most recent Rick and Morty was fortune cookies. He just ripped them a new one. He hates fortune cookies, apparently.
I haven't seen the new one yet.
But we'll talk about it after.
Okay.
But in 2011, during season 3, this was 2 years after Glee premiered. And Glee was like the hottest shit thing on the TV, and everyone loved it. And Dan Harmon hated the crap out of it because he thought it was so it didn't make sense to him. He thought it was garbage on TV. And he made a whole episode where he made fun of it, and it was called Regional Holiday Music. This season 3, episode 10. And it was a holiday-themed parody of Glee in which Abed tries to persuade each member of the study group to join the Glee Club so they can qualify for regionals. This was also their Christmas episode of that year. So Abed wanted everyone to hang out, feel like their own family and watch a terrible version of the Dr. Spacetime holiday special, which they show at the end, and it totally makes fun of the Star Wars holiday special. And I love that that's what they do. This episode is so witty, especially if you watch Glee at the time, because they took aspects of every Glee season and started condensing this one episode. Regionals was a very important thing that the Glee Club wanted to go to,
but nobody knew what the hell it was.
Nobody knows what regionals.
No,
and regionals lead to semi-regionals, which lead to lower district regionals.
This episode also introduced a new teacher. The Glee teacher, who was played by an SNL alum, Taran Killam.
Yeah.
And he was also in Hamilton and a bunch of other things. And it also really introduced me to Donald Glover rapping for the first time. I'd never really seen him rap. Wait, shit! We didn't play a clip from the Dungeons and Dragons episode.
No, we didn't.
I will do that in a second. But the Glee episode.
Have you ever masturbated in the study room?
that was from.
That's for later.
That's a different episode.
No.
This is why I mute YouTube while I do it.
This is the best episode ever.
Oh my god. And Glee, and then we find out that the Glee teacher ended up killing the previous Glee team by cutting the brakes of the bus.
But it's a one by one, how they just kind of like the entire study
it's
group
like a cult,
out.
Right?
Yeah, no, there's literally this reference to the Body Snatchers in it when it gets to Jeff and that, Britta runs up to him and that, Jeff, everybody else is in Glee, and he turns around, no, she does that Veronica Cartwright head shake.
Oh. Man, I thought I had a clip from this, but I seem to have lost it. And then I got that masturbating clip from. Anyway, what did you guys think of this episode? I don't know if you guys remember it.
I remember every episode. What I remember is I loved again, because I too hated Glee. I've never watched a full episode of Glee. And every time, my friends watched it, everybody talked about. I grew up with nothing but friends in musical theater. They, of course, loved Glee, talked about Glee. Fucking hated it. I couldn't stand it. Didn't think it was interesting at all. So this episode, I feel Dan Harmon so much because I'm like, this is funny. This is yes, I have. Shit.
I'm sorry.
You did. You had the clip again there, Eric. You passed by it.
No, I put it in another window. Sorry, Marcus.
Okay. So I loved like the references and everything. I really loved when he first gets Abed to join in on the Glee Club thing, and I love that one line where he's just like, "Things are more interesting when cameras are spinning," and he just keeps doing that big crane spinning camera thing, because like I used to see that all the time, and them singing about it, pointing it out, is just so perfect for this genre, for what they do. I love it so much. Also, this was like, I always had like a little crush on Alison Brie from the beginning and everything, but this was the one where I was like,
her song. Boop,
like
boop,
the
boop, boop, sex.
Yeah.
I'm a stupid Christmas baby, baby.
I mean, honestly, how many times I would like just like rewatch that scene. It was very, very attractive.
How many? I never made it through 3.
I'm trying to find a D&D episode or clip for you. Shirley dies in D&D. Is this the one? No,
that's the second one.
That's the second one.
That's the second D&D. That's Hickey's D&D.
Here's
that one was pretty good too, but it wasn't as good as Advanced D&D.
Maybe they don't
Advanced
have it
Dungeons
on
Dragons.
here because they removed it from.
Because it got cut. They don't want it. They want people to like recall it.
Oh, that's shit. Anyway, I'm gonna play the first part of this Glee episode, which I thought was fucking hilarious. Here we go.
La 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 la.
I'm just gonna hit the washroom quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh God, the human being.
They found a way to make the human being even creepier, covering him in icicles.
I'm upset too that I didn't think to put an E pluribus anus as my background.
Guys,
Oh yeah.
found something we can watch together for Christmas this year. The long-lost 1981 Inspector Spacetime Holiday Special. Runtime 2.5 hours, and so critically reviled that after it aired, the creator had his knighthood revoked.
That sounds terrible. I want to watch it twice. But I'm spending Christmas with my relatives. Or rather, I'm spending the day with my relatives while they refuse to acknowledge Christmas.
You Jehovah's Witnesses, so severe. Andre and I will be spending Christmas giving gifts to the more persuadable of our Jewish friends.
I wouldn't call an unannounced visit from your pastor a gift. And don't bother this year. I'll be at the movies with my booby.
You're not taking both of them?
Well, one's dead.
What?
I was looking forward to hanging out with you guys this Christmas. The semester's been so long and dark and angry. I was thinking we could have some lighthearted fun as a family.
I think what we've learned, Abed, is that attempts to make the holidays brighter tend to give them a certain darkness.
Oh, I don't know if I agree with that.
Actually, maybe I do.
Shirley's so good.
It's the season to be jolly. Fa la 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 la. Rock on!
Merry Christmas, Greendale. Glee Club here, reminding you that our Christmas pageant is coming. Next stop, regionals.
What the hell are regionals? They never stop talking about it.
Please tell me we were not this obnoxious the year we filled in for them.
T-minus 5 seconds till the hip hop remix. 4, 3.
Come on! Remix! Remix! La 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 F-A-L-A, come on!
Oh, you're awfully quiet, Jeff. Nobody hates Glee Club more than you.
Today I'm just content to sit back and enjoy the show.
And now, our pop music mashup. Elton, Lil John Lennon. Kick it!
Hey, tiny dancer! Okay!
Cease and desist.
Glee Club, meet ASCAP. Protecting musical copyright since 1914. It appears they have received an anonymous tip that unlicensed material was being performed here without the artist's permission. Merry Christmas, everyone. Glee Club just became History Club.
My soul is dead!
Okay, anyone asks, we were never here.
One more. I'm gonna put one more just because I want to.
Okay.
I just want to. We gotta. They had actual.
Masturbated in the bedroom.
God damn it!
Please make that the title of the episode. Please make that the title of this podcast.
We'll see. I just really like the
Oh.
Merry Christmas,
yeah.
Troy.
Abed, you look gleeful.
Troy, don't you think it might actually be fun doing this Christmas pageant for the Glee Club?
Abed, we hate the Glee Club.
Yeah. I guess I just like liking things.
Abed. Look, You know I'd do anything you did, but I'm a Jehovah's Witness. We're not supposed to celebrate Christmas.
I've been thinking about that. I may have a loophole. What if you were a Jehovah's Witness that was merely pretending to be into Christmas, gathering clues and blending in to take down the holidays from within?
You mean like a spy investigating? Making it seem like I'm celebrating when actually I'm infiltrating Santa's operation? Yoip! Going deep cover past enemy lines, making everybody think I'm on the Christmas side. Rocking warm sweaters, hanging big ass lights. If the fat man can see me, yo, it's gotta look right. I watch all the TV specials that I never could. I'll even cry during the sad ones like James Bond would. And when the big night comes, it's time to set the bait. Cold milk, hot cookies, decorative plates. And he'll come down the chimney and it will be just him and me, but he won't know we're enemies cause stop play sincere. Bring a trap like that, hug him tight, get on his lap and tell him he can come back every year. Cause I am Jehovah's most secret witness, so I might have to dedicate my life to Christmas and act just like I love it till the day I die.
Connoisseur of Christmas, on the spectrum, none of your business. Thoughts too fast to comprehend, just wanna do right by my friends. If years were seasons, this December would be the December of our December. More blueprints than Howard Hughes, but if there are blueprints, how do we choose? We have to be happy to get to the end. We have to save Christmas to save our friends. We have to save Christmas to save our friends. We have to save Christmas to save our friends.
Hey guys! Rapping?
Yep. Wanna join us?
Totally! Wait.
We're gonna need all hands on deck if we're gonna go to regionals.
No. I just need to study, though, in my room. So have fun!
Oh my god, the cutting commentary on how bad Glee is and how it doesn't make sense is what really made this episode for me, and I love that it made fun of it so well while making a better Glee episode than Glee did.
Or how about the phenomena itself, which seemed to infect people like some kind of a virus, not unlike the body snatchers.
Yes, yeah. Oh man. All right. That's our list of our favorite episodes. Runners up. I'm gonna say obviously Remedial Chaos Theory was probably one of the best. It's probably my second favorite after the Advanced D&D episode. It introduced people to multiverse. Each timeline was perfectly separate and hilarious in its own right. And we got to see some aspects of the characters that we had sort of seen before but hadn't really touched upon, like Troy being nice to Pierce, like that interaction in that one timeline where they're like, they're actually friends and he appreciates what Pierce did for him. I loved it. I love that Shirley had a baking issue.
The joke with that troll doll kills me. Like I fucking love that troll doll has come up in multiple times during this entire show.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that so much.
I love that evil Troy ended up trying to eat it and burning out his voice box.
Well, just that part where there's like, Troy lost his vocal cords because he tried to, for some reason, eat a flaming troll. He's like, clearly you don't understand anything about just eating trolls.
Oh, man.
Or that Jeff lost an arm in the fire.
Yeah.
I lost an arm.
And you put a blue streak in your hair? Exactly. Things got dark.
Troy was really good. I really liked hey, Jeff, what does a pregnancy test look like? It's a stick with a string out of it. So this is definitely a gun.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that episode.
I would love to know what it would have been like for them to come in for like table reads and to like read this and go like, what is gonna happen? What do I say? Really? Like, those must have been so entertaining.
Mm-hmm. I also love the props for this episode were amazing. Like the olives in the toilet, like in the back of the toilet, or the Indiana Jones scale model. Man.
Yep.
Just olives on the toilet. It's a fancy party.
Yeah.
Britta, I know what you're doing in here. I'm 21.
Yeah. Pulls up the fucking
the Popeye
the candy cigarette.
Oh my god. Does anyone else want to throw out a runner up? Go.
Yeah.
I had a couple that I picked from. Well, go ahead, Hawk.
Yeah.
Okay. Mine was cooperative polygraphy. which was season 5, episode 4. After Pierce's funeral, a lawyer named Mr. Stone shows up for an inquest into the circumstances of Pierce's death at Pierce's request, and begins grilling the study group with the aid of a polygraph team who notify him every time someone lies.
I have a clip for this.
Oh, yes. Do you?
Actually, Hawk. Thank Hawk for this. Because Hawk picked the most perfect clip.
All right, go do it.
Perry, do you know that you hate yourself more than you should, and that your passion inspired me?
No. That's true. She didn't know.
To Miss Perry, I leave my iPod Nano, filled with music to take life less seriously by.
Oh, that's nice.
I also leave you this liquid nitrogen-cooled cylinder of my hyperviral sperm in case your lesbian lifestyle one day wears out and you wish to raise an army of geniuses. Shirley, did you know that you are not only a credit to your race and gender, but to our species, and that I was intimidated by your strength of character and business acumen?
Yes.
To Shirley Bennett, I leave my spacious timeshare in Florida, where she can take what's-his-name and however many children she has now. I also leave you a cylinder of my sperm. Annie Edison, did you know that you were always my favorite?
You mentioned it once.
I leave you this tiara, which you once refused to accept. It's the same tiara I used to wear when my mother would verbally assault me for not being a little girl. Also sperm. Jeff Wayne, did you know you're gay?
No.
Agree to disagree. To you, I leave this bottle of fine scotch, so that you're less tempted to drink this cylinder of even finer sperm. Hey, Betty, dear, did you know that you were insane and nothing that you said ever made any sense to me?
Yep.
Here's your sperm. Did you know that you possess the greatest gift life can give? The heart of a hero. And that it's up to you not to waste it like I did. A thing? To Troy, I leave the obligatory sperm.
Maybe it's because everyone else got one, and because it's an old man's semen, but I'm kind of disappointed.
In addition, I am prepared to leave Troy Barnes my remaining shares in the Hawthorne Wipes Company, currently valued at $14.3 million. On one condition. You must first sail my boat, the Childish Tycoon, by yourself around the entire world.
What?
Again with the bait and switch.
When I was 23, my father asked me to do the same thing to earn my adulthood and his fortune. Of course, I cheated and floated off the coast of Belize for a year doing coke with John Denver. I always regretted it. I'd like to give you a chance to do what I never did. Become your own man.
Okay, I'm a lawyer, Troy. It should be possible to contest these conditions as unreasonable.
I'll
and
do
Pierce
it.
can take his mind games in his sperm, and he can put
I'll
them
do
right...
it.
What?
Troy? Pierce was a crazy old coot, yeah, but I think he knew something about me that even I didn't know until now. Because he's offering me something I've been searching for my whole life. Millions of dollars. And being a man, or whatever he said.
Say something.
I'm speechless.
Somebody say something. Abed?
Cool. Cool.
That's a lie.
Oh. I love the post credits of that.
The post credits
when they're
is
at the
great.
bar.
But the entire episode was great. You know, it's
Yeah.
like even though Pierce was gone at that time, they still used the character of himself in that to torture them one last time in that because, like, it was an inquest into his death, but it was also basically him. He had accumulated a ton of information about them behind the scenes, and the lawyer just kept asking him questions and that with the lie detector there, so they couldn't lie in that. So
Yeah.
Asked Shirley, "Did you kill Pierce?" No. And it's like, "Did you?" Do you give money to pro-life groups?
Yeah.
The Troy one was hilarious. Did you kill Pierce? No. It's like, do you have a handshake you and Abed do that you do not use with anybody else? And he's like, yep, they're classic one. did you come up with that on your own? And he got it from a podcast, and he showed Abed. Abed was furious.
Yeah. Here's a cool shake you could do with your friends.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, man.
Such a good episode, and a really good send off to the Pierce character. So
Yeah,
He did show up one
a-
more time too.
A nice little episode. I love the episode that followed it. The one where
Lava.
Abed sponsors a game of the hot lava, like the
Hot
floor is
lava.
lava or whatever. Oh, that's a good episode too.
Yeah.
Great episode.
Yeah. All right, Brent. I know you have an episode you want to chat about.
We don't really have to go too into depth, but I got two also from season 2 that I was contemplating picking. Number one, Intro to Political Science.
Yes.
Which was for two reasons. One, I know it says on Wikipedia that it was the second episode, but it's the first one I remember seeing him in, but the first episode of Magnitude.
Yeah.
At least the first pop moment where I was just like, and everyone's freaking out, and I'm just like, what is going on? Did I miss something? And you realize that no, this is the first time I feel like I'm living in a world that's existed around me. But I also love the Abed dating the federal agent.
Oh,
yeah,
that was
dating
a
her.
great one.
Oh yeah.
Finding basically like the perfect female counterpart for himself, but he can't actually date her without it being some kind of weird scenario.
That's right. Joe Biden was going to visit the campus
Yeah.
for their
Yeah.
for their whole presidential thing. And he had spotted Secret Security scoping out the place a week earlier.
Yeah.
Secret Agent Robin, who's from Happy Endings, I believe. Right?
She was one of the cast in Heroes at the time.
Oh. Hold on, I think this is the clip from
Ali Larder, I think.
Let's find out.
No, this isn't Ali. It wasn't
It's
played by
not,
Ali
it's not Ali Larder in the episode.
Of course. No, this is the girl from Happy Endings. I can't remember her name. She's also in that reboot show.
What are you doing? Random spot check, Mr. Nadir. Stay out of our way.
Nothing suspicious.
Glenn, bring the car around.
What are you looking for, Robin?
Fertilizer, car battery, PVC piping. Anything suspicious?
Because you think I'm suspicious?
Eliza Coop.
Or because you wish I was suspicious so that you'd have an excuse to see more of me?
This was a random spot check.
Do you like me?
That's not really relevant. That's close enough.
Are you sure?
You smell like nice soap. I have to go. I'm sorry you weren't a more obvious potential threat to the country.
Ooh, blackberries. Remember those?
Rollers. Yeah. I'm sorry, sir. We're gonna have to move on to City College. Apparently there's an elevated threat level at Greendale. Don't worry. I'll check it out. Personally.
Whatever.
That's the Joe Biden
I just
impression.
had a dream that I was a regular president.
Oh my god. Amazing.
This was fun. Maybe you can observe me having dinner next time you're in town. Hung twice for yes, once for no. Cool. Cool.
So,
And then really quickly, another episode from season 2 that I absolutely love, and this one was really my runner-up, is Critical Film Studies.
Yes.
When they plan on throwing Abed the perfect movie homage birthday party, only for him to pull a fast one and put Jeff into his own perfect movie homage with My Dinner with Andre.
How quickly did you guys figure out that he was doing My Dinner
The sweater.
with Andre?
Yeah.
Really?
The sweater.
That-
As soon as the sweater.
Yep.
As soon as he came in with the sweater and was very like happy to see him, and I was like, something's off. What's happening?
Well, for me, it was as soon as he hugged him, he's like, Jeff, old friend, and he kind of like did that thing. You were just like, whoa, wait a minute, no, something's up. This isn't what Abed is, and like
that's what
loved
it was. It was that threw me off, and then I looked at the sweater and I went, "Oh motherfucker, it's dinner with Andre."
I love the Cougar Town story that he comes up with.
my God.
Like that whole so good.
I love the intermixing of those two shows, like how characters from that show would show up on Community and Community people would show up on Cougar Town.
That's right. Dan Bird showed up as that when they started letting prisoners into the community college through the use of tablets on wheels.
Yeah.
Dan Bird played the one that was just like who was like trying to get Jeff fired.
And I believe Abed and Britta showed up in the background of a couple episodes of Cougar Town. Yeah, amazing. All right, Marcus, what's your runner-up?
Okay, so I mean, I already brought up the digital estate planning one, but a couple other ones that really stand out to me. There's Abed's Uncontrollable Christmas, the stop motion animation episode.
All the Christmas episodes are good.
Oh, they're fantastic, but just like that whole and like Professor Duncan as the Christmas warlock and everything, like just fucking. I loved the way they did it, and I loved how like we did get to enter reality at one point, but then just kept going back into the stop motion animation kind of thing. That was really fun, and I'm a big
all the
fan
characters
of
gonna
that.
be Pierce as the teddy bear.
Yeah. So that one was a really good one. I love that, and then Pillows and Blankets, like the Pillows and Blanket Fort, like that's a great episode. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. It was early on in the season, and like there was just a really good dynamic that they did there. And then two of my other ones that were kind of strange were like the Basic Rocket Science, where they go into
the
KFC Winnebago. I love because like that's when Pierce is losing his mind from the medication, and he starts like thinking that. He's claustrophobic, and he thinks that
with
KFC
11 herbs and spices.
But like, I love how like Colonel Sanders is like, Pierce, you are going to die alone, Pierce. And just like that shit was so funny. And then like the fact that Troy like kind of takes charge. He's like, no guys, I need to captain us out of here. It's so fun. We need to do this to open the spaceport. Like I love that whole episode. It's so ridiculous. But again, it's that committing to ridiculous.
They had to meet like maximal flavor.
Yes.
Yeah, maximal flavor. Yeah. And then the other episode, one other episode that it's one of the newer seasons, so it's not really high up on my list. But I just loved the actual episode. Was the app development and condiments. So that's the one where they make meow meow beans.
Oh,
and, yeah, where it's basically like Logan's Run. And,
yes, I remember that episode. That was so good.
It is a great episode. It's like in that series, because that's like the new season. I think that's season 5 with Hickey, I think. Mm-hmm. And like, there's a lot of episodes from there that are very forgettable, but that's one that always sticks with me. Coogler, like they introduced the Coogler, like classic 80s like guy that's too old to be in college trope kind of thing, like just so good. And I fucking loved the Coogler. I really wanted him to come back in more episodes.
Dougler. My parents even call me Dougler.
Don't forget, I remember how you used to call me Nitz all the time.
That was one of my favorite aspects of the show. Is like there's always those episodes where basically the entire college community somehow commits to the madness of whatever the study group is going through.
Which reminds me of one other. Oh, sorry, Marcus, were you done?
That's the last one I wanted to mention. Yeah, I fucking love that.
One more I forgot to mention was from, I believe, the second season, Contemporary American Poultry, and it's the one where they take over the chicken finger ring in the
it's
the Goodfellas and Godfather thing, and as soon as they start planning it turns into a mafia movie, and with
my God,
with Abed doing the narration.
As long as I can remember it, I always wanted to be in a mafia movie.
Yeah. Everybody was speaking chicken, and that's a language I understood.
And at the end of when he's like, chicken isn't good anymore, I'm trying to tater tots and maybe jalapeno poppers.
Yeah.
It's such a good episode. So I know we have the movie coming out in whenever. They're going to start filming it, I think, in the next couple months. Hopefully they'll have the full original cast, maybe minus Chevy Chase because he died in the Pierce died, not Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
But you never know. He might come back. He did come back as that hologram, too, right?
Oh yeah, he did. That's right.
Yes, he did.
So, thoughts on the movie? Hoping the Russo brothers come back maybe to direct it. Or Justin Lin maybe.
Yeah, 'cause they haven't announced any directors, right?
Nothing. Just that most of the cast except for Yvette Nicole Brown and Donald Glover are returning. I think they're still working things out.
They're probably in negotiations for that,
Yeah.
but I bet they get them back in some one capacity or
I
another.
hope John Oliver comes back too.
Yeah.
I see them trying to get as many of the look at all the slew of side characters you saw. Like you're going to see everyone, as many people as possible coming back.
Yeah, Brie Larson, Jack Black.
Jack Black would be
Black.
correct. I would love to have like this, like at some point in the movie for it to focus on like one of the secondary characters, like Leonard. Like I would love like a
but
full
he
storyline
died.
on Leonard or something.
Leonard's got to be dead by now.
No, he died. He died last year. It was very sad.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, figured. Yeah.
But
like something like Garrett, I would accept Garrett.
I hope it's like their 10-year anniversary, but because it's Greendale, it's like their 13th anniversary, some random number.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh man, it would be amazing. I hope they don't do a paintball episode, like a paintball thing. I hope it's actually just a giant community episode. Maybe multiple genres. Multiple genres would be great. Oh man.
I could see them. I could see them like taking like a few tropes, kind of like what's that movie where they take a bunch of movie tropes and like just like epic movie or epic, like when they did that joking epic movie, like the blockbuster movie smash up kind of thing. Like I could see them doing something similar to that, where like they take some of the most popular movies that are coming out now, like maybe they would take like a Top Gun spin on something, and like they would take like an Avengers kind of spin on something.
It's a director doing like Marvel films now.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
like just those kind of things. Like there's so much you could be doing at this future. Now, where did everybody leave off at the end? Like Jeff still was at Greendale.
Yeah.
And then
Annie had left because she was doing an internship with the FBI.
Abed went to do a film study or something, or
I think he went to LA.
Yeah.
He went to LA.
Like
And,
obviously, like having them all back would mean some sort of reunion. I feel like that's pretty much.
Well, it's got to
has to be
revolve
something
around
that ties into
saving
the
the
school.
college, right? It's got to be something that involves saving the community college.
I guarantee
saving
that it's
Dean
going to
Pelton?
be. I guarantee it's going to be at least one of them is still enrolled in Greendale. It's like basically
Jeff
never
will still
left.
be working.
Jeff's
Jeff will
working
still
there.
be working at Greendale. I feel like that's going to be the common denominator for Greendale.
Yeah.
And like somehow Dean Pelton too, because he's just going to be latching on.
I'd love to see if we come back and it's like Jeff is the dean and Pelton is a student.
Oh.
That would be good. That would be good.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, so many possibilities. I'm really looking forward to an outline for this movie.
I cannot wait. I will be there opening night to see it if I can.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. We should try to plan it. We should like have a group of us all go and see.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for any other final thoughts on Community. I can't wait.
If you haven't watched it, watch it. Like if anybody out there is not in on this show,
I didn't know
get
anyone
in.
had not seen it. So when Show said that he had never seen it, I was
Shouts
like,
never
what?
watches anything.
What? But Community? Everyone.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
I can't. Like of all the shows that I know that I binge on a regular basis, like this is a show that I put in the background constantly
time.
when I'm working in the shop while I'm working on something.
Mm-hmm.
This show is just running in the background because I don't need to be engaged to know what's happening, and it's always good to just
And you
check in and be
know
like,
the
oh,
bits that
fuck.
are coming up, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna check it out now. Yeah, there you go.
I think I
Troy's
need
crying again.
I need one more viewing of the whole series before I can put it in that category because I still don't remember a lot from like the last 3 seasons. So
Just give it another go, and you'll start remembering things, man.
I'll probably get back into it now because I finished at the end of season 2, so I'm like I might as well just keep going from 3 on now.
Yes,
That's
do
fair.
it. Absolutely.
I got a week off work now, so what else am I gonna fucking do?
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed us talking about Community. I hope you're looking forward to the movie. When that movie comes out, we're definitely doing an episode about it, and we'll probably go see the movie all together because that movie's going to be fucking awesome. I hope.
Yes. I
All
hope
right.
so.
We will be back in 2 weeks. We're going to be talking about Clerks 3 and the whole Clerks trilogy and how, it affected us and how Kevin Smith ended up, finishing that trilogy. Oh man, I can't wait.
It's going to be a gush fest about Kevin Smith and his amazingness.
If
That's
not
all
us,
it's
going to be gushing and possibly crying. So we'll find out in 2 weeks' time. Thank you guys for coming on and talking about Community. Thank you guys for listening. We will see you guys in 2 weeks. Goodbye. Bye. Pop, pop.
Pop, pop.
Well, that's it for us this week on Geeks with Kids. If you want to get a hold of us, you can send us an email at podcast@geekswithkids.ca. And don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/geekswithkids. Follow us on Twitter at geekswithkidscn. Check out our pics on Instagram at geekswithkids. And you can find all of this good stuff on our website at www.geekswithkids.ca. So if you like what you hear, why don't you hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment. This podcast can be found on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, YouTube, and your favorite podcasting app. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.